Hello, everyone. I'm Rabbit, and today I thought to do something a little different, and I want to combine two of the things that I really want to do in my life. And one of those things are reading. I want to be able to read passively and consistently so I can always improve the way I talk, because that's always been something I've struggled with. And another thing is that I've always wanted to have a Minecraft Forever world. And that is what you're seeing today, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So today I will be reading Reddit stories just to try it out, and I hope that this is the beginning of a new series where I can just talk about Reddit stories and have the progress of the Forever world be seen in video form as well. For this whole video, I will be only looking at one subreddit called r/petty revenge. Our first story. My roommate kept snoring and refused to address it, so I recorded her and played it whenever she tried to rest. I work and live on a cruise ship. Depending on the route, we dock every 2 to 4 days. Have one roommate and we have bunk beds with me on the top. I'm a performer, so we get to pick our roommates, and my roommate never told me that she snored. Very loudly, too. I tried earplugs. Nope. I have a big over the ear headphones and was playing music, still can hear her. I can even hear her over the ship docking, and our room is near the anchor. It's loud. Her snoring is not only loud, it's concerning because she chokes in her sleep too. The first time I heard it, I almost fell out of my bunk to rush down and check on her, thinking she was having some kind of medical emergency. I talked to her to see if we could come up with a solution, and she basically shot me down because she thought since she was sleeping fine, it wasn't a big deal. Also, it's really hard to change roommates unless something major happens, and snoring isn't considered one of those. Despite me voicing my lack of sleep, I did my best to live with it. But I was fed up when I got done with a long day of work, got up at 9 a.m., and didn't officially get work done till 11 p.m. I had to be up at 6 a.m., and the snoring only allowed me 2 hours of sleep. So I decided to record her. The next day, when I was going to the room for a break, she was there and said she was gonna take a nap. I was like, okay, and she laid down. I started playing her snoring. She immediately shot up and looked at me like I was insane. When all I did was stare at her, she asked me to turn it off. I just said, well, this is you snoring, and you said it's not a big deal, so why should I? She gets really mad, says a few choice words, and leaves the room. For about 3 days, whenever she tried to rest, I played her own snoring back. Finally, I got called in for a meeting with our manager because a roommate was mad at me. I explained my side of the story because the roommate failed to mention that she refused to address her snoring and made it seem like I was just playing loud noises for the heck of it. Roommate is angry that the manager didn't fully take her side and even told her she was being difficult by not trying to address her snoring and brushing off my need of sleep. We ended up getting moved with new roommates. So this story already from the title with my roommate that already sends off some bad vibes because there can be a lot of drama in that area. We'll only take one comment just to understand a person's perspective. Comment. This is definitely sleep apnea. I had the same thing before I finally broke down and got CPAP. My girlfriend has never been happier. No more snoring. So I guess I'm not entirely sure what that is, but from the context, I believe that is something that can stop the snoring or at least loud snoring. Looking at the comments, there is a lot of comments just talking about more of the snoring and how it affects the person and how be seen and how it gets treated. That's mostly how the comments are. But that is some petty revenge, and that is what we love here. Next story. Roommate said, if you're so tired of cleaning up after us, just leave our stuff where you found it. I'm 35, female now, but in college I rented a small house with 3 dudes, all of us in our early 20s. I have many stories of petty revenge from this time in my life, as guys in their 20s who are living away from their mothers for the first time often need the point illustrated in no uncertain terms, but this is one of my favorites. The house had one bathroom for the 4 of us, and as the only girl and the only one with a clean freak for a mother, I ended up doing basically all of the cleaning. I frequently put things away in the common space, shoes in the front closet, laptop on a shelf so no one trips over the cord, etc. both because it made cleaning easier and because it's common courtesy to clean up your stuff in common places. I was often met with irritation from my roommates who couldn't find their stuff as if I was hiding it from them and not putting it in perfectly reasonable and agreed upon places. During this time, one roommate also had a girlfriend who was basically a squatter in our house. I did my best to be friendly and welcoming, including driving her places when I had time and helping her find a job. She technically had a place to live elsewhere, but all of her stuff somehow ended up in our house, including our one tiny bathroom, which she showered in twice a day. The number of products lining our shower easily tripled when she appeared, which made cleaning the bathroom a nightmare. I asked that she coral her bathroom stuff and keep it in his room so the shower could be cleaned without knocking 27 conditioner bottles over, but that was asking too much. The final verdict from my roommates was that I should just leave our stuff where he found it, and so I did. When I cleaned the shower, I sprayed down all of her bathroom products with scrubbing bubbles rather than move it. It melted her expensive shampoo bar pretty quickly and made all of her bottled products slippery, but I was just following instructions. Roommate's laptop was plugged in, so I tripped over the cord while walking through the living room. You said just leave it, so I did. Even though tripping over it unplugged it, and now it's dead when you need to use it. And my personal favorite, roommate and girlfriend left their shoes all over the living room rug. I needed to vacuum, so I left their stuff where I found it, rolled up the living room rug with their shoes inside, and vacuumed the whole house. They came out halfway through and asked where I put their shoes because they were leaving. I didn't put them anywhere, I left them where I found them. They kept looking confused until about 30 minutes later when I unrolled the rug to replace it, revealing their shoes. They called me an asshole, but after the shoe incident, suddenly her bathroom products were put away, shoes ended up in the closet, and the laptop was plugged in somewhere out of the way. This is frustrating. This is more of the roommate thing that I was talking about how so many things can happen when you're living with someone who was raised in a totally different environment from you, and especially with this as well. But then this is like more of a basic hygiene and cleanliness at home. But it is like three guys and one girl, and that's I feel like that's very uncommon. And we'll take one comment here. College kid abuses of shared living spaces is one of the most frustrating tragedy of the commons. Absolutely. Personally, I don't relate to this at all, but I know a lot of people that do, and it frustrates me. I do have a roommate, and I had a roommate, but they were actually pretty nice because they were grown up. But I do have a roommate that is coming up, and he does leave stuff around, and it starts to get smelly, but I digress. But he's a good person. He's just not a very he's not very clean. But that's enough of my story. Next story and the last story. We are keeping this short just to it's our first time. This is first time we're trying this, and so I want to keep it short and sweet and see how we improve from now. But this is a good one. This is a good one for the last one. Title: Neighbor let his dog poop on my lawn daily. So I launched a neighborhood smear campaign, literally and figuratively. If you don't know, a smear campaign is a coordinated, deliberate effort to damage someone's reputation or credibility through the spread of false, distorted, or exaggerated information. And so you could already see where this is going with neighbor let his dog poop and smear campaign, literally and figuratively. So I can't wait for this. This happened a couple years ago when I bought my first house in a chill little neighborhood. Everything was great except for one thing: my back neighbor, Rick. Rick's the kind of guy who owns two grills but no shirt, drinks Bud Light in the driveway at 10 a.m., and thinks property lines are just a suggestion. Rick also had this massive golden retriever named Duke. Duke was cool, friendly, but had a very specific habit. He loved to drop the nastiest logs right in the middle of my lawn. Not near the sidewalk, not behind the tree, dead center like it was his sacred spot every damn day. First couple of times, I figured maybe Rick didn't realize it. So I walked over, super polite, and asked if he could maybe keep Duke on a leash or at least scoop the poop when it happened. Rick, wearing a tank top that said Weekend Warrior, looks me dead in my eyes and goes, "It's all nature, bro. You don't own the earth." OP responds, "Oh, we're doing that." So I tried the normal stuff, patch the fence, put in a motion activated sprinkler, even tried some citrus detergent. Nothing worked. Rick actually laughed when he saw the sprinkler and said, "Nice try, but Duke's built different." Opie says, "Cool, but I'm built different too." Here's where the revenge starts. I started collecting Duke's turds in a Home Depot bucket, lined it with a trash bag, used a scoop, added a little water for aesthetic reasons. After about 2 weeks, I had something that looked like a cursed soup. One Saturday morning, while Rick was out, I took that bucket and painted the border of his yard, sprinkled it like fairy dust right along his deck and around his precious fire pit area. He came out later that day, sniffed the air, and literally went, "What the hell is that smell?" Opie says, "I was sitting on my porch drinking coffee, like, smells like nature, bro." But wait, it gets better. We have a neighborhood Facebook group. I started posting lost dog poop updates every time Duke hit my yard. For example, found steaming hot dog present near my mailbox. If this belongs to you, please collect your property before it fossilizes. Thanks. Opie continues. Then I started putting up tiny little "do not poop here" signs made out of popsicle sticks and toothpicks, completed with glitter and googly eyes all over the lawn. I made them in weird passive aggressive haiku form. For example, "Dear Duke the Pooper, this is not your golden throne. My grass feels betrayed." Safe to say, Rick was not amused. He actually stormed over one day and yelled, "Are you trying to make me look bad?" I just blinked and said, "Buddy, I don't need to try." After all that, the neighborhood fully turned on him. A couple other people came forward and said Duke had been leaving surprises in their yards too. Rick ended up having to build an actual fenced in dog run and started walking Duke on a leash like a normal human. And me, I still make those haiku signs for fun. Opie mentions in the edit, "Someone slid in my DMs requesting pics. Do you like dog shit?" I love this. I love this. So what do we think of this, guys? We think Rick does not seem pleasant at all. He seems very wanting to ruin people's days. Even the whole neighborhood started to the point where the whole neighborhood started to dislike him more for other reasons as well. And a whole smear campaign, figuratively and literally. Let's go into the comments. Comment. I had a neighbor that did this. After repeatedly asking them politely to keep their dog out of my yard, I started picking up the poop, putting it in a bag, and leaving it in their driveway. They still didn't change. I left the bag on their front porch, still no change. I finally started throwing it from my shovel all over their front yard. Think of a bunch of shit confetti in the grass, flower beds on the siding, you name it. It finally stopped. The craziest things that people do just just to be a dick or lazy. I think they're either purposely being a dick like a Rick, or they just are lazy and they don't deserve to own a pet, own a dog specifically. But yeah, that's terrible. That is amazing though. That is amazing as a last story. I love how we're doing a smear campaign, literally and figuratively. That's one of the best things I've ever read. Yeah, but I think that will be all for today's video. Sorry if it's a little short and only like 3 stories. I did try to purposely keep it short and not read too much, but then yeah, maybe we'll see in the future how we will do now, how we will do with reading. But yeah, I just wanted to get a little warm up. You know, this is the first video of it, of this possible new series and possible new Forever World in Minecraft. And yeah, hopefully we'll see some more. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you guys watch until the end. And if you did, leave a like and comment down below what was your favorite part. And also just give a little feedback too. I do appreciate that because I do want to improve and give you guys the best experience possible. And yeah, it's been Rabbit, and I'll see you guys in the next one.